Hi everybody. Today is the day that we got to set Karen straight. For those of you that haven't been following along, Karen is not of my bloodline and she's got a little bit different personality. This is not Karen, by the way. This is a sweet horse. We don't have to worry about her. Karen is sweet also, but her problems are, they're genetic. People are going to be guessing that she was abused or something to act like this. She wasn't. I know where she came from. But I did not raise her. I got her in as a payment for training a show horse for somebody. And she's out of a bloodline that is just known to be a little bit cantankerous, a little ornery. But they're also extremely talented bloodline. When she first came here, if you want to go back and see, there's a short we could link that's called Mean Horse or Scared Horse. And it was showing her on her first day of being caught. And she didn't know whether to attack or run or what. Well, that has faded away, and she's no longer,
they're all coming.
Yeah, she's no longer scared, but she is getting sweet and wants to be petted. Like this right here, this is her. She wants to be around me, but she doesn't know whether I'm a horse or a human. She doesn't know what a human is yet. So she's kind of got boss mare problems. So, hold that camera still for a second.
I'm trying.
So, she will kick at you just like you're a horse, like she's trying to be the lead mare, the boss mare. Like I was saying, that attitude has now changed to she wants to be our friend, but she also wants to be our boss. She wants to treat us like a horse and not like a human. Definitely not like her leader. So, she's going to have to get some re-education real fast. How many of you watched the live the other day where she basically attacked me? It was kind of like an attack. She's done it a couple times to Becca in the field too. So what we're gonna do is 99% of the horses I train without physical discipline, she's gonna have to have a little bit of physical discipline. Even Oliver the stallion, trained him all the way through March of this year when we went to the St. Patrick's Day parade under harness. Never had a bit of physical discipline because he didn't need it. But this little mare, I'm gonna have to set some boundaries. She's wanting to physically discipline me about being in her space. Well, she's gonna get back whatever she gives, she's getting back. Once she's caught, she's not gonna do anything wrong, really, I don't think. Because like I say, she's got a sweet nature inside of this attitude. And we just gotta get rid of the attitude part and we'll have a good horse. Let's get her in the barn and we'll start a little round pen lesson with her. Better drive past Chantilly when we're going towards the barn so we can say hi. Hi, baby. Oh, you're so sweet. Good girl. Good girl.
Where's Prince? Prince is over there.
Okay, we just got in the round pen. We hadn't even started yet. I'm gonna be nice to her when she wants me to be nice to her. But I'm not gonna take any guff off of her today because she's been getting a little dangerous out in the pasture. I'm not gonna tolerate any hollering for other horses. And I'm gonna even entice her into kicking at me like she's starting to think is a good idea. What I mean, like if I see something she's not happy with, I might push just a little bit further. And if she kicks at me, she's gonna get a spanking. And then eventually my goal is, and this is gonna be controversial, but I'm gonna lay her down with ropes, not as a trick, but as a submissive mental exercise. So I've always talked about having dominion over horses, and a lot of people confuse that for dominate. And when I'm talking about dominion, I never mean dominate. Today is an exception. Today, we need to get to a spot where she feels dominated. Because she's getting out of control and she's getting unsafe. So that's not how I train generally. She's an exception, and it's due to her pedigree. I'm not even going to be doing this as a teaching mechanism because I don't really recommend anybody ever do this. If you got a horse that acts like this and you're not a professional, send it to a professional. And if you are a professional, I'm not going to be teaching you anything today that you don't already know. It's just going to be hard for people to understand when they've learned about pressure and release and horsemanship methods that you still have to keep some other tools in your bag. Like I say, I think about the last 20 or even the last 100 horses I've trained. Can you remember me doing this?
No.
It's been since General Stallion I trained, I had to do, and then that one gray mare that was real scared, I had to do this too. But 3 or 4 in a lifetime. And this is to make her get to the point where I can train her with horsemanship methods and pressure and release, and make her be a good, you know, safe family horse eventually. I've trained a lot of horses out of this bloodline. They all have a little bit of fight to them. She's just getting a little carried away with it. That's why, another one of the reasons why I insist on breeding my own horses. I don't enjoy this. I don't enjoy a horse that I have to fight with or have to convince to be my friend. I want one that's sweet and loving from the get-go. And she does have a sweet side. She wants to be pet. She wants to come up and be loved on in the pasture. But she wants to be in charge of that interaction and be able to move your feet and push you away. When she turns to kick at me, that's what she's doing. She's like expressing dominance. She's moving the other horse's feet in her mind out of her space, me being the other horse. And I need to get through her mind that I'm not a horse, I am her master. So, controversial, some people argue with that, but you're not the one in charge of training this horse, and I'm thinking about safety. It's not safe for Emery to go out in the herd with this horse, or even Becca. Becca's getting pretty good, but her read on a big herd dynamic is still not as good as mine, and she's almost got kicked by her a few times.
You don't have to do this on camera, but you actually never prayed for her that I remember. You could say prayer over her, but you don't have to.
No, yeah, that's a good idea.
I don't have to have the camera on you.
No, that's fine. I'm afraid if I pray for her, though, I won't be able to get the lesson through to her because she'll just get too soft.
Okay.
So I think I'll pray for her after the lesson. So this will be the turning point.
Okay.
I'll get this lesson in her brain, and I think it's going to be a one-time lesson. After this lesson's over, we'll take dominion with Holy Spirit on her, and we shouldn't have to go this route again, ever. It should just be normal training. But if I pray for her, the chances of her doing anything wrong to get disciplined for it right now will be drastically decreased. And I'm actually looking for her to do something wrong right now so I can correct it. Kind of an odd way of thinking about it, but that's how I feel. So I'm going to go with my gut. One. Good girl. Yeah. Just to be clear, I'm smacking the ground to get her to move, not smacking the horse. She hasn't done anything wrong. Got me a little louder whip today than I normally use that I can smack the ground with. And you can see I'm kind of tickling and pushing on her sometimes around that back leg, giving her a chance to get mad at me and kick. She kicked and it caught her. That's actually going to be better than what I could have done to her. That worked out really good. Just fortunate. How that caught her leg and jerked with her. It's going to make her think that was a bad idea. Kind of a nervous poop there. She's starting to realize that I mean business and that she's kind of has a fight that she's in. I'm being a little aggressive and a little forward towards her because she has been kicking at us in the pasture. So I'm wanting her to react in a way like that now so that I can correct it. Than I have with other horses of the same age because of what we're going through with her. I'm trying to add a little stress. It's opposite of all my other training videos you've seen usually, where I'm trying to take away stress. She needs to go through something today a little bit. She's actually choosing a lot of the right things there. So I had to take the pressure away a little. By choosing the right things, what I mean is she's not kicking out. She's starting to realize, oh no, I'm kind of in trouble. He's bigger than me. Good girl. Get her down in a lower spot. Yeah, go ahead and get mad about that. See what happens. For the commenters that are going to be complaining, let me just tell you, 5 minutes of hard work like this to make a horse start heading the right direction for the rest of its life is well worth any stress she's going to go through. If I'm going to get bit, I'd rather it be in a controlled environment when I can fix it than out in the pasture where she can get away. Remember that from last year?
I could tell.
As this lesson gets more intrusive and rougher, if you're one of the people that don't like it, maybe you should just click off of the video and watch one of my other videos. But do a little thought experiment. If this behavior isn't ripped out by the roots, this horse could end up bouncing from owner to owner with unsatisfied people and not ever have the home she deserves. Start up. A lot of you might be thinking that I could just give her the regular lesson, but I didn't expect her to be bad when she knew she was caught and knew she was, you know, under control. She's got a sweet side, like I said, and she's had some training before. She's not doing it out of fear. She's not doing it out of, you know, prior abuse or whatever people are going to comment. She's doing it out of boss mare syndrome and a little bit of just testing her limits and honoriness. And that's why we showed the clips in the field, to show why this training is necessary today. So what I've got is a set of hobbles. You see they're padded inside of there. So they should protect her from any type of injury. And I'm not going to hobble her. I'm going to use these to help lay her down. And I'm not wanting to teach her to lay down. If I was teaching a trick, it would look completely different than this. What I'm doing is trying to make her have a little bit of a stressful situation in her mind where she gives up and the adrenaline spikes and then dumps, and then she submits, and I show her that, you know, if I had to, I could eat her. And that's what I want her to know.
You're gonna eat her lunch.
Yep. Okay, I'm just gonna let her feel that that's on there, keep her from freaking out. I wish they were detachable, or I only had the one, but that ain't an option right now. If you don't have a hobble, well, like I said before, if you're not a professional, don't even try this. Send her to a professional. But if I didn't have a hobble, I would use a cotton rope, not a nylon rope like this. Cotton's far less likely to rope burn, and I've seen people do it with a lariat. I would never do it with a lariat. I put an extra bag of shavings out here today to try to make a soft spot for her to lay down. The chances of me getting her to lay down in the right spot are slim to none. Good girl. Yeah. There, right there's good. Close enough. Okay, so I'm going to do, I didn't know whether or not I wanted to do this from the off side or from the near side, but I'm going to pick that foot up. Probably should have done it from the near side. Okay, let me explain some of the things that are going on with the setup I have here. The half hitch around her barrel is constricting, which makes some young horses just lay down on their own. If you notice, when you
put a saddle on a horse for the first time, if you try to pick up its feet, a lot of times they'll lay down, or they'll just lay down from the feel of the saddle. So that is what that constriction feeling does with the rope half hitch. It also helps me hold the foot up when she doesn't want it up. This fight and a little bit of panic that she shows when she's starting to feel this is part of the fight and the spike and the adrenaline dump that I'm going to need for her to eventually surrender and have the emotional dump and adrenaline dump that I'm looking for later.
It's just a game of patience too. I don't want to use a ton of force. I mean, I'm forcing her to the ground, but I'd rather let it happen a little bit more naturally. Pretty funny watching her try to figure this out because she don't have no idea what I want. Back up. There's a way to do this with the back leg too, but this way takes a little more patience. I like to just give them a little bit of time to figure it out. Right there, I don't hardly have any pressure on it because she's doing something close to what I want. If the gate wasn't there, she could flop down now. Here we go. Good. Now, where the lesson begins. Yeah, I like to just get on them.
Sure.
Nothing is sacred. Stick my fingers up their nose, stick them in their ears, things that normally you wouldn't get away with. Get hold of their tongue. Let me have tongue. Let me see it. There's her tongue. Pet it. Nice tongue. Yeah. Switch over. That hind end. Between their legs, up under their tail root. I'm only doing this once today, so I'll just go ahead and take this off now while I've got it. Probably only do this once in her life, really, unless she ever kicks at me again. So, I mean, she's given up pretty much.
That's it.
She has no fight to her. So, that was the object of the game. All this boss mare fight out of her. Like I say, most horses don't have any fight in them. They just want to be your best friend anyway. She wants to be my best friend but wants to be in charge, so she's got a little fight. So this is not typical of my training. Well, I know we're gonna get a ton of hate comments, but I wanted to show this because every horse is different. You go say, oh, I use Monty Roberts, Equus, pressure and release for all my horses. You can't train every horse the same way. You know, I use that too. But you got one that's dangerous, you gotta have another toolbox. And I'm doing this with love, I'm not mad at her. I want her to be a sweet, good girl. Yeah. Okay. Now is a good time to pray for her. Father, thank you for this opportunity to work with this special creature. Karen, God gave me dominion over you. So let your will fall right in line with my will. Be a sweet horse, let me have dominion, and I'll care and love for you, and we'll never have to fight again. In Jesus' name, that spirit of fear and spirit of fight has left you. In Jesus' name. And from now on, you're a perfect companion. Perfect partner. Okay, I'm gonna let her up. Actually, I'm just gonna, I'll leave her hooked. Pet her when she gets up.
Good girl.
You want some more? Some more Wobbins? She's not sure if that foot is still tied up.
Keep petting on her there. All you can, I'd say.
Yeah, good girl. She's thinking about that lesson. She's like, whoa, that was a lot. She's thinking, I don't know about this deal. But you can tell she's submitted. Like, she's staying down below me. This is like, prey animal's worst nightmare. To stay below or controlled while on the ground by a predator. Which, make no mistake about it, humans are predators. Our eyes are on the front of our heads, not the sides. We have incisors and canines. So they know that. But she has submitted, and I bet you this one-time deal gets her back to being safe and ready to be, like, go on with her training. Get up. Oh.
She says more, please?
Yeah. Yeah, it's in their nature to actually, it's been bred into them for thousands and thousands of years, and on top of that, they were created by God to serve us and to be under dominion of us. She's been lacking that in her life. She's got it now. In one lesson, she's gonna hold on to it. She does not want to give that up. People are gonna be commenting, oh no, she's staying down because she's hurt, or she's too stressed out or something. I promise you, that's not it. This horse her body temperature's not even that hot. She's just barely sweating. She ain't even sweating everywhere yet. She can get up.
I think the flies are bothering her.
Get up.
What she think she's like hurt or something?
She's just doing this to get a bunch of comments in the channel that aren't gonna know what they're talking about. I promise you.
Oh no, she's being a Karen.
Pouting a little bit. Okay, I give up. Scratch your belly. Actually, I think she likes it a little bit. As you can see, there's no long-term effects, no damage, no limping. Just a little bit of long-term change up here is what we're hoping for. That's enough for a lesson. I'm gonna walk her around just a little bit to show you that there's nothing wrong. But yeah, she's perfectly fine. And I think she'll be over this I'm in charge of human thing, or treat humans like other horses thing. So we'll give her a little drink and a snack, let her stew on it. Anytime I do a lesson like that, I don't want to turn them right back in a herd. I want to put her in a box stall for the night and let her think about it and soak on it overnight. It absorbs that lesson in a little bit better, in my opinion. No scientific fact on that, just something I've noticed and think is right. Okay, so as you saw earlier, this was several weeks ago, we did the lay down lesson with her and a big discipline lesson. that stemmed from the live that she showed the disrespect and kicking. If you go back in our live feeds and watch the one in the herd, you'll see how disrespectful little Miss Karen had gotten. So the lay down lesson was to kind of show her that it was time for her to submit and that I could totally dominate her if I had to. And it worked. She's got a lot more respect for me now. I've been in the pasture and petted her and just been her friend multiple times since then, and she has not shown any indication of biting or kicking. So today we're going to swim her and get that endorphin release and get her to you know, kind of surrender to me more in the water.
She's never been down here before, so this will be her first time swimming.
Water's pretty nice today. It's not that cold.
She's not like as freaked out about it as I thought she kind of would react to it.
She's thinking about playing in it.
Yeah, you gonna like it?
Good girl. Okay, baby. What do you think about that?
There's a giant rock.
It's not a rock, it's a cement block.
Oh.
Wow, she's a really good swimmer.
I should have put the head thing on you. Can't even see anything.
Oh. Oh.
Are you taking her over?
No, she's just got water in her ear, so she's mad about it. Oh. I got you. I got you.
Like she likes you.
I got you.
She looks like a shark.
Beautiful.
This is what's known as a chestnut mare syndrome. All the way. There's a big stereotype. Big stereotype about chestnut mares having a fighting personality, and this one does.
Oh, really? I never heard that.
Oh, yeah. Chestnut mare, they always say. Yeah.
Oh. You're okay, Karen.
Yeah.
You're okay, sweetheart. Just stressful.
That's what we're after, though, people, is this little bit of stress and then a release of that stress when she relaxes.
I'm a little scared to get too close with the camera.
You're okay. Horses get mad when they get water in their ear.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
They don't like it.
I'm sorry. Okay, so I'm going to jump up on her and see how she reacts. With her history, I'm not expecting it to be great. But that's the joy of the water. Becca, you catch her if she throws me, okay? She's plenty big enough. She's nearly 3 years old, and the water helps with the weight, and there's a sand bottom, and we're not going to ride her a bunch, so she'll be fine.
I can carry Dad in the water. I think a horse can.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
people are just, they don't have any common sense. They freak
Look,
out about it.
that. Becca,
They freak out about it because they just don't know nothing.
Carry her dad in the water.
Oh, good girl.
First time on her, right?
Yep.
Did you do any groundwork ever with her?
Yep.
I mean, oh yeah, like when she first got here.
No, I did a big one the other day with her.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, and I even made her lay down and laid on her and loved on her.
Oh, this water feels good. I was burning up and I was hot. Do you leave all my voices in the video? Yes, you should. Oh,
Okay, Becca, you come get on her. I'll lead her around.
okay.
For those of you that are still with us and have an open mind, go through the comments and look at the hate that I'm sure we're getting for this training video. Like I say, this is 1 in 100. I don't suggest it for every horse, but Karen was exhibiting dangerous behavior, and now 3-4 months later since we filmed this video and now that we're editing it, she never went back to it. She became a safe, friendly horse that did not exhibit any aggressive behavior. So she's found a good forever home, and I can feel confident as the trainer and seller that she's not going to put the woman who bought her in danger.
In her eyes a little bit, she's relaxed.
Look at her
Yeah,
lips.
see the lick and chew?
different.
And she's starting to look around.
Yeah.
Starting to release that frustration. Yeah, you can have fun down here.
Good girl.
I'm worried she's gonna turn around and try to bite me.
There's a horse fly on her she's trying to get right now. Right on her shoulder.
Good girl. Foxtrotters are one of the gentlest breeds out there. But in each breed, each bloodline of that breed has different tendencies. This is one of the orneriest breeds of Foxtrotters. And with that being said, she's still very easy to work with compared to like a hotter blooded horse like an Arabian or a thoroughbred. Some of the performance bred quarter horses, or horses that are a little stupider because they've been bred for color. I won't say any specific breeds there, that way you guys can interject your own. I don't get yelled at as much. She's ready to continue her training though. She's nearly 3 years old. In this last little growth spurt, I like to be training them during their last little growth spurt. I think it finishes them out to a better, more healthy, stronger framed horse if they do a little exercise while they finish out. You just got to do it in moderation. I think that's a good first lesson for her. So I think I might keep her in the barn and do a round pen lesson with her later, but that'll be a separate video if we decide to. Maybe do her first saddling.
She did good.
Yep.
Okay.
Pretty good.